bumped into Dr. Steve Peters last night. He was just returning to the Crucible to work with Ronnie. He's Ronnie's sports psychiatrist, a very eminent man. He works with very many top sportsmen in lots of different fields. Hasn't been here for a couple of days, but now he's back in Ronnie's corner, just as he was 12 months ago when Ronnie claimed the 4th world title. He's a key member of O'Sullivan's team now.
Whenever I work with people, I try and respect the fact that everyone is unique, they're in a unique environment. So when Ronnie approached me, he expressed what he wanted to do with his emotions, his mind, his thinking, and then the frustrations of why he couldn't do that. And then Ronnie worked with me. So I see people when I work with them as students, really, and all I'm there to do is give them the equipment to deal with their minds, to work with it in the way they want to work with it. And Ronnie's been an amazing student.
I won the World Championships last year, but for a year before that I was working with Steve. And if I wouldn't have been working with Steve, I probably wouldn't have been playing in the first place. He gave me the appetite back to kind of know what it is I want to do, and sometimes you can get in your own way. It's just all about managing your state of mind, really, which I can do now. Wish I'd have been able to do that 20 years ago, probably won a lot more. But still, you know, it's okay managing your emotions. You still need to play and perform and execute the shots.
I work with a model which is called a chimp model. And really it's a simple way of understanding how the mind works and what the rules are. So when he walks out there to play snooker, inevitably the chimp will kick off and start justifiably saying, I don't want to be here, or this is going to be threatening, and who knows what it'll say. And it's learning what your particular emotions are going to do to you. And then behind that, there's a backup system which I call the computer, which is really to try and understand what are the belief systems you're holding when you go in there and what are your value systems. Snooker is a steadier game. There's more time to think. It is a unique sport in that you sit back and you can't interfere with your opponent when they're at the table. In most sports you can combat them. When I work with people, I do what I call a mental warm-up, so that we get into the right frame of mind and we lay to rest all the negative thoughts or feelings they might actually be harbouring or might appear. And then we go into a positive mode, but it isn't positive thinking, it's realistic thinking. And we expect to get some negative thoughts breaking through. But we have techniques to work during competition in order to keep his emotions at bay. Ronnie's worked on these outside of the snooker hall. He'll come back asking questions and then he'll practice them, so again it is a skill.
There's no doubt that he's been a big influence on Ronnie in the last 2 or 3 years. He looks very comfortable around the snooker table. He looks like when he's there, he's in a cocoon where nothing in the outside world can affect him.
Looks fully focused to me. Every single shot's getting 100%. Obviously he's had Dr. Steve Peters here to help him this week, and he's obviously doing a very good job. He looks totally determined.
I fit in around Steve, that's how it works really. I don't try and demand his time because I know he's a busy guy and everybody wants him. So I just make the effort. I block out 4 or 5 days. I go to Steve's house and I say, look, when you've got a free hour, I'm here. And we just kind of do it like that, and we talk a lot and Skype a lot. And but just knowing that I've got someone like Steve there to help me through, you know, some tricky situations.
We all feel pressure under certain circumstances, and when he's saying I learn how to deal with it now, rather than just succumb to it and react to it. So it's a learning process again. He's much better this year than he was last year, and each year he's making improvements, so long may it continue.
Well, there's no doubt that O'Sullivan has certainly benefited from Dr. Peters' help.